Hello, I'm Molly Schaefer, and welcome to Recycled Grace. On December 23rd, 2020, my father passed away due to complications with heart failure. The heart failure was caused by diabetes. My father and I had a very difficult relationship. We were estranged for the past 13 years, and about 3 years ago, I decided to change that. But I knew I couldn't change it by doing the same thing that I'd always done, just forgetting and forgiving, or what I assumed was forgiving. I knew what I needed to do was very difficult. I was going to need to find forgiveness. I was going to need to grow, and I was going to ultimately need to take the first steps towards healing. And that would mean peeling back a lot of the armor that I put over traumatic events that happened in my childhood. That would mean facing it. That would mean going to therapy. That would mean reading countless books, listening to numerous podcasts, facing really difficult things that I didn't want to face. Looking at myself in the mirror and seeing that the woman that I saw reflected before me was not the woman I wanted to be. So I went to counseling. I read countless books. I listened to numerous podcasts, and I talked about the truth. I spoke to people who I trusted, who I knew were safe, and I put up boundaries. I began talking to my father again based off of those boundaries. It was not an easy decision to say no to a person that I was so used to saying yes to. It was a really difficult conversation that I had with my dad when I explained why I needed to set those boundaries up to begin with. But over the past year of his life, my dad and I had quality conversations that we had never ever had before. I told him I loved him. I told him I forgave him. And I told him right before he passed away, about a week before he passed away, that I looked forward to seeing him again one day in eternity. I asked him to focus on forgiving himself and ultimately seeking healing for the pain that had happened in his life, because hurt people hurt people. I wanted to end the cycle of abuse with me in order to leave a legacy of healing for my family, and I believe I've done that. So if you're interested in taking those steps too, maybe you might not have the same opportunities that I had, and you can't go into counseling, or you can't really afford to get a bunch of books, and perhaps your situation is different from mine. But that's okay, because with Recycled Grace, you need to focus on forgiveness, growth, and healing. And I'm going to give you tips that I've learned from my therapist and from all of the hard work that I've put in to help you take those first steps. I look forward to spending this time with you. I look forward to digging deep down into the pain that we're so scared to show to people. So we bury it inside of ourselves. We cover it up with a smile on our face and say, oh yeah, I'm fine. Everything's great. I look forward to you finally being able to look in the mirror like I can today, 3 years later, and say, you know what? I actually like the woman who's staring back. And 3 years from now, when I'm a different woman, I know that I'll like her even more. I'm excited to start this journey with you. I'll see you next Saturday as we start the first step in Recycled Grace, forgiveness. TTFN, ta-ta for now.